on July 2025, in the Carpathian Mountains of Romania, a 48-year-old man made a decision that would cost him his life. His phone was found by authorities hours later, and what they discovered on it sent shockwaves through the international community. The final images showed a bear approaching, frame by frame, until the camera went dark. His name was Omar Farang, an Italian motorcyclist, documenting his solo journey through Eastern Europe. 24 hours before his death, he had posted a video that now has millions of views. In it, you can hear the excitement in his voice as he films a mother bear and her cubs from a safe distance. But that wasn't enough. The engagement was good. The comments were pouring in. But Omar wanted something more compelling. Something that would truly capture his audience. So he returned to the same location the following day with a plan that wildlife experts call criminally negligent. He brought food. He approached on foot, and he got closer than anyone ever should to a wild predator protecting her young. What happened in those final moments has been reconstructed by Romanian authorities, forensic analysts, and wildlife behaviorists. This is not speculation. This is documented fact, and it is part of a disturbing pattern that is claiming lives across the globe at an accelerating rate. Since 2014, 127 people have died in selfie-related incidents worldwide. That number surpasses shark attack fatalities in the same period by a significant margin. We're looking at a genuine public health crisis that's being driven by social media culture, and yet it receives a fraction of the attention it deserves. Today, we're examining exactly what happened to Omar Farang, why it happened, and what the science tells us about the psychology behind these fatal decisions. Because understanding this phenomenon isn't just about one tragic case. It's about a fundamental shift in how humans interact with danger when a camera is involved. Let's begin with what we know. Let me take you back to July 2025, to the breathtaking Carpathian Mountains of Romania. Picture this. Winding mountain roads cutting through ancient forests, peaks touching the clouds, and wildlife roaming freely in their natural habitat. It's the kind of place that makes you want to capture every single moment. Omar Farang, a 48-year-old Italian man from Samarate, was living his dream. He worked at Malpensa Airport back home, but right now, he was far from the daily grind. He was on a solo motorcycle adventure through one of Europe's most stunning landscapes. Omar was riding along the famous Transfăgurăzan Road, a route that's legendary among bikers and travelers. The wind in his face, the roar of his motorcycle engine echoing through the valleys, and everywhere he looked, nature's raw beauty surrounded him. He was documenting everything on his Facebook page, sharing his journey with friends and family back in Italy. Every curve of the road, every mountain vista, every magical moment was being captured and posted online. His followers were loving it. The likes were pouring in. The comments were full of envy and admiration. Then he saw them. A family of brown bears by the roadside. A mother and her 3 cubs. In that moment, Omar felt like he'd struck gold. This was the shot he'd been waiting for. This was content that would blow up his social media. He could already imagine the reactions, the shares, the comments from people amazed by his incredible encounter with wild bears. He stopped his motorcycle, pulled out his phone, and started filming. "Look at the bear. How beautiful," he said in his video, his voice filled with genuine wonder and excitement. But here's where the story takes a turn that nobody could have predicted. One photo wasn't enough. One video wasn't enough. Omar wanted more. He wanted something that would really stand out, something nobody else had. The next day, he came back to the same area. He saw bears again, and this Chimi, he had a plan. This time, he was going to get closer. This time, he was going to do something that would make his content truly unique. He actually got off his motorcycle and approached the animals. Not just approached them, but brought food with him. Can you imagine what was going through his mind? Maybe he thought the bears would be friendly. Maybe he'd seen too many videos of people feeding wild animals and thought it would be safe. Maybe the desire for that perfect shot, that viral moment, overrode every warning signal his brain should have been sending him. Omar Farang, walked toward a mother bear and her cubs with food in his hands. He was trying to feed them so he could get better photos. Closer photos, more dramatic photos. What happened next was captured on Omar's own phone. When authorities later recovered the device, they found something that haunts everyone who knows this story. The photos show the bear approaching him, getting closer and closer. The images become increasingly disturbing, showing the exact moments before the attack. These weren't the fun, adventurous selfies he'd been posting. These were the last photos Omar would ever take, documenting his own final moments as the situation spiraled completely out of control. The mother bear charged. She attacked with the full force of a wild animal, protecting her young. Omar didn't stand a chance. The bear grabbed him and dragged him down a steep ravine, pulling his body about 60 yards into the dense forest. Other motorcyclists on the road heard the commotion and immediately called emergency services. But by the time help arrived, it was too late. Armin Shirilo, the director of the Archivist Forestry Department, later told reporters what they'd pieced together from the evidence in Omar's phone. The story was clear and tragic. Omar had deliberately approached the bear, offered it food, and paid the ultimate price for that decision. The phone they recovered showed his final perspective, the bear coming at him the moment everything went wrong. Romanian authorities had to put the bear down afterward. A mother bear who was simply protecting her cubs lost her life because a human made a catastrophic error in judgment. But Omar's story isn't unique. And that's what makes this so important for all of us to understand. A 75-year-old Spanish woman was mauled and hospitalized with severe lacerations on her arms after she tried to photograph bears through her car window. A Polish tourist was attacked. A German tourist was attacked. All of them were trying to get photos. All of them got too close. Earlier in 2024, a British woman named Moira Gallagher was driving through the same Carpathian mountains with a friend when they spotted a brown bear and her cub. They took photos from the passenger side of the car, but Moira wasn't satisfied. She told reporters later, "I didn't get a proper picture, so we went back, and it was at my side." She rolled down her window to get a better selfie. The bear reached through the window and mauled her arm. Moira survived, but she acknowledged to the media that she was very lucky to be alive. Let me take you to a completely different part of the world now, because this phenomenon isn't limited to Romania. In May 2018, in the eastern Indian state of Orissa, a truck driver named Prabhu Bhattara was returning from a wedding with several passengers. They stopped near a forest so people could use the restroom. Prabhu stepped out of the vehicle and spotted an injured sloth bear by a pond, getting a drink of water. Despite his passengers shouting at him to stay away, despite every rational voice telling him this was dangerous, Prabhu approached the wounded animal with his phone out, trying to get a selfie. If you do encounter a bear at close range, the response depends on the situation. For black bears, if attacked, fight back aggressively. For brown or grizzly bears, play dead if it's a defensive attack, lying flat on your stomach with your hands, protecting your neck. If the attack continues for more than a few minutes and seems predatory, fight back with everything you have. If you see a bear before it sees you, back away quietly. If the bear sees you, speak calmly and back away slowly. Never run, as this can trigger a chase response. Make yourself look larger by raising your arms. If the bear charges, stand your ground, as many charges are bluff charges. But here is the most important thing. These emergency responses should be necessary if you're re-following basic safety rules. You shouldn't be in a position where a bear is charging you. You shouldn't be close enough to need to play dead or fight back. Those situations arise when people make poor decisions, when they ignore warnings, when they prioritize photos over safety. The best way to survive a bear encounter is to prevent the dangerous encounter from happening in the first place by keeping your distance and respecting the animal's space. Think about the photos Omar posted the day before he died. They were beautiful. They showed bears in their natural habitat, majestic and wild. Those photos were enough. They told the story of his adventure. They captured the magic of seeing these incredible animals. But they weren't enough for Omar. He wanted more, and that desire for more, that inability to be satisfied with what he'd already achieved, that cost him everything. It's a lesson we all need to take to heart. The stories I've shared with you today are tragic, but they don't have to be in vain. Each person who died taking a selfie with a bear can serve as a warning, a lesson, a reminder of what can happen when we let our desire for content override our common sense. Their deaths can mean something if they prevent even one other person from making the same mistake. If hearing about Omar makes someone decide not to approach that bear on the trail, if learning about Prabhu stops someone from getting out of their car in a wildlife area, if these stories make you think twice before taking a risky photo, then maybe some good can come from these tragedies. Your life is precious. Your presence in this world matters to the people who love you. You have value that extends far beyond your social media profile. No photo, no matter how perfect, is worth sacrificing your safety or your life. The perfect selfie doesn't exist if you die trying to take it. The most liked post in the world means nothing if you're not around to see the responses. And at the end of your life, when you look back on your experiences and adventures, you won't remember how many likes your photos got. You'll remember the moments themselves, the feelings they evoked, the pure experience of being alive and present in beautiful places. So the next time you're somewhere amazing, somewhere that makes you want to capture every second, by all means, take photos, document your adventures, share your experiences. But do it safely. Do it responsibly. Do it with respect for the environment and the creatures that call it home. Keep your distance from wildlife. Follow the rules. Listen to warnings. Use appropriate equipment. And remember that sometimes the best photos are the ones we never take. The moments we simply lived and felt and experienced without a screen between us and the world. The wilderness is calling. The mountains are waiting. The forests are full of wonder and magic and incredible sights. Go explore. Go adventure. Go find yourself in nature's beauty. But go safely. Go wisely. And come home with stories to tell, not tragedies to mourn. Because at the end of the day, no selfie is worth dying for. Not one. Not ever. And if you take nothing else from these stories, if you remember nothing else I've told you today, remember this: wild animals are wild. Respect them, admire them from a distance, and leave the selfie for safer moments. These weren't just statistics or news headlines. These were real people with families, dreams, and futures ahead of them. Omar Farrangzin was 48 years old, with a life back in Italy. Prabhu Batara was a truck driver with passengers who watched him die. Every person who's lost their life to a selfie with someone's child, possibly someone's parent, someone's friend, someone who mattered. Their deaths should mean something. Let them mean something to you. Let their stories be the reason you make better choices. Let their tragedies be the wisdom that keeps you safe. Thank you for staying with me through these difficult stories. I know they're not easy to hear, but they're important. Share these stories with anyone you know who loves adventure, who takes risks for photos, who might need to hear this message. It could save a life. It could be the difference between someone coming home safely or becoming another tragic statistic. Stay safe out there. Respect nature. And remember that the greatest adventure is the one you survive to tell about.